Yes, welcome to another video. I'm Lewis, above me is Jordan, and this is our first video in preparation for our first ever Champions League final. It took us 10 years to get here, but I'm proper buzzing for it. And we're going to go through the main issue that I think Pep, and we both think that Pep's got to make. I think the team pretty much sets itself, apart from maybe one position, and this is the position we're going to talk about today. Before we get into it, guys, I want to talk to you about our exclusive Champions League final sponsor, and it is the guys at Manscaped. Now, Manscaped got a couple of things that you can use. First of all, this is it's the Lawnmower 3.0, bro, and it's absolutely mint. Basically, use it below the waist. Although, if you don't want to use it below the waist, you don't have to. Like, I literally, bro, actually, true story, I used it on my mustache today, bro.
Did you?
Just a little trim there, innit? You know what I mean? The first time.
Nice.
Clean and everything. It's got to be sterilised and that. But honestly, guys, mint, long battery life. It's got a torch on there, so you can see exactly what you're doing. And it's top class engineering. And for those guys who've got a bit of a problem with the nose hair, this is the Weed Whacker. Probably my favourite name of all the products that they do. Just stick it up your nose and press the button, and all your hairs go away. Guys, if you want to take advantage of their 20% off discount and free shipping, head over to manscaped.com and use code EXTRA. That's XTRA. That's manscaped.com. 20% off and free shipping with code EXTRA. Thanks a lot to Manscaped, guys. They're our exclusive Champions League final sponsor, so massive shout out to them. We'll set 1,000 as the like target, and make sure you subscribe. We're looking for 35k subscribers. Right, okay, let's get into the main issue then, bro. The main issue for me, like I say, I think the team pretty much picks itself. However, the one position I think is kind of up for a little bit of grabs here, due to what's happened in the last few weeks, is the forward position, central forward position. And it's whether or not we go false 9 and basically play Bernardo in there or Kevin De Bruyne, or whether you drop Bernardo and you play either Ferran Torres, who had a phenomenal game at Newcastle, got cut short against Brighton. However, it is looking really, really strong in that position as a striker and would give you lots and lots of energy up there. For me, he's probably a little bit of a better finisher than Bernardo Silva. In fact, not a little bit. He probably is a miles better finisher than Bernardo Silva. Or do you play Sergio Aguero? We don't know his full fitness levels, and we'll probably find out more in the next sort of 24 hours. However, look what he did in his last game of the season in the Premier League. He doesn't have to be fully fit because he's so clinical in front of the goal. Or do you just stick with false 9? That's the decision that Pep's got to make.
Yeah, it's a big one as well, because I think it's going to determine how we actually play football on the day. Shall we run through pros and cons then, bro?
Let's do it. Let's start with
pro and con in it.
Yeah. Let's start with Ferran Torres, because this is probably, if you would have asked me 4 or 5 weeks ago, I would have been laughing at you if you even decided this. So let me start with a con then, and you can give a pro on this one. So the con is that we've not really seen too much of Ferran Torres throughout the when we have seen him play as a striker. He's looked very, very good. In fact, I'd argue that he's been better than good. You know, he's took his chances when he's needed to. He looks very good finishing. However, the con is we've not really seen too much of him, and this is a massive, massive game. And if it backfired, everyone would be like, what the hell are you doing playing this guy in a Champions League final when he's played about 10 or 15 matches for us? Yeah,
I think that's an issue. That's obviously an issue, the fact that minimal game time. However, my pro in this situation is his movement is incredible. His movement is absolutely incredible.
It's underrated. Some City fans don't back it as much, but I think it's crazy.
I think they're focusing more when he was at right wing or left wing and stuff like that. I think that's what it is, because you could believe that, because he sometimes seems a bit out of the game. However, when he's played striker, he makes really intelligent runs. He makes strikers runs it, and he creates that space in the box for himself, and that's really good. And as well, he's clinical. He has that. Do you know what I mean? That striker's instinct. He's got it. He 100% has it. He knows where the goal is without even having to look at the goal. Look at the back heel. He's good. So that's my pro for him. However, I also agree with your cons, bro. Well, your con in the situation, the fact that he hasn't played much, and it's a massive risk.
It is a risk, but Pep Guardiola's paid big cash to make big decisions, and as we've seen from Ole, when he didn't make no big decisions, you know, shit can go south real quick. So, you know, I think that's a fair summarisation of Ferran Torres. He's a very good finisher to add to the pro list. You know, I'd be quite happy if he started as a striker, but it is a big risk. Let's go for Aguero. So maybe you could give us a con for Aguero, Brie.
It's the easiest one, bro.
Yeah, it probably
Fitness.
is.
Is this guy going to be fit? I mean, I know that he apparently was supposed to play in the in the last game of the Premier League. He was meant to start the last game even, and he's kind of advised not to. He's obviously looking, do you know what I mean, one eye on his future.
Yeah.
And that says to me that he's not at his peak condition at the moment. As much as he might say like he's ready and stuff like that, yeah, he's ready in his head. However, his actual body telling him, nah, mate, you ain't ready for this.
You're not ready.
But yeah, that's the only comment with Aguero really is his fitness.
Yeah, I'd back that. So I think there's quite a lot of pros, to be fair, with Aguero. First of all, obviously, we said it before, his finishing. His finishing is unreal, and he doesn't have to be at 100% Aguero. He could be at 60, 70, 80% Aguero. You give him a chance, he's probably going to score, and that's something that you can't guarantee with maybe a Bernardo Silva in that position. You know, look at his first goal against, who was it at the last day of the season? Everton. Absolutely.
The header. The header
so as well, good. You know, and he's got a bit of a knack for scoring against Chelsea. He likes a goal against Chelsea. So, yeah, he's very, very clinical. He doesn't have to be at his top, peak conditioning level to score goals. It's his last ever game for this football club. That's going to be motivation for him to put in the effort and to try and really do everything he can to help us get the win. You know, you'd like to think it's a Champions League final, Bernardo Silva would bust a gut, and so would Ferran Torres. However, this is a club legend we're talking about, and this is his last ever appearance in a Manchester City shirt in terms of like a competitive football match. So there is going to be that extra 1 or 2% of just wanting to win more than Bernardo and Torres, and that's no dig on them two. It's just a fact of how he will feel emotionally, and the adrenaline will be absolutely pumping through. So. Look, it's the pros for Aguero are quite stacked. It's just, what is his fitness level? You know what I mean? If he's kind of fit, it might be worth throwing him in there, because if he gets a chance, he's going to score. But if he's kind of miles off the pace, will he get in the positions to score? That's the problem.
And the thing is as well, but if he is off the pace and he's not ready for it, you know for a fact that he's got a half in him. He showed that against Everton.
That's true.
So, do you know what I mean? Yeah. We could just put him on for that second half if we need a goal. At some point in that second half, throw him on. We need a goal, get him in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And the final one, the one that we played with most of the season, is the false nine situation. Now, it's a false nine, but there could be a couple of different ways you could do it. You could either play Bernardo up there, or you could play Kevin up there, and both are kind of different, really, because if you play Bernardo in the middle, you get much more energy in the middle, because obviously Bernardo's like a bee in there, he gets about, whereas Kevin's a little bit more chill and he's looking for that killer pass. And obviously if you play Kevin up front as the false nine rather than Bernardo, I think Kevin's better finishing than Bernardo, but of course then you're not really getting those deep passes that cut right through the midfield and the defence, so it's a bit of a toss-up what you want. Cons, bro. What are the cons in a false nine then for this game?
Cons false nine wise is you don't have a striker in the box. There's plenty of times where we played this false nine situation where you'll get your wingers get the ball, Miles get the ball, Foden get the ball. You're looking forward, or maybe even sometimes when it's Bernardo up top, Kev will get the ball, looking it up forward in the box and there's no one there, and you're just like, oh no, because there's no one actually in the box, because that's the natural position of it. But in my head, there isn't that many cons in this, because we've played it all season and it's worked a lot. It's worked really well for us. The other thing I would say is sometimes Kev gets a little bit isolated. It all depends on how they set up. But I think it's worked really well for us in the past, so I don't see it not working this time. Do you know what I mean? It is dependent on how Chelsea set up. They must be preparing for the fact that we will play a false nine.
Yeah, I think for me one of the main cons is, I think, with a false nine, it forces Gundogan to try and get in the penalty area to get on the end of crosses, which is great because he's mint at doing that and he can get goals. However, if Bernardo's in there as well, I do think that we do leave ourselves quite vulnerable to the counter-attack in there then, because you've only then got either Fernandinho or Rodri, whoever plays, and then basically Kev, but Kev's not going to be like, you know what I mean, he's not going to be deep enough, he's going to be quite up there, and if the ball gets out quickly, we could find ourselves in a position where we're under a counter-attack very quick, and they're a very, very good team at counter-attacking.
Well, they showed that against us in both games.
They did, so that probably would be my main concern, is if we were to go forward and we're pushing Gundogan into the box to try and get on the end of crosses, can we deal with their clearance and their counter attack? You know what I mean? I think we're going to have to be very, very switched on defensively there. And I think that would come from probably Fernandinho, who we expect to play in the centre mid position. He's got to be really getting onto people to make sure that people aren't, you know, going too far forward and becoming ill-disciplined. The pros are that we've played this all season and it's got us into this position, and why should we change it? You know what I mean? It's a mint formation for us this year. It's paid off. And again, if we don't play it and we lose, people will turn around and say to Pep, what are you doing?
Why didn't you do that?
Stick with what's worked.
Yeah, it turns into another Pep disaster clash. I mean, overthinking it situation if we don't play it and it doesn't work for us. But I think stick with it seems to be our winning formula, that false nine.
Yeah.
So there's always the case. There would always be the case to stick to your guns and go with the false nine.
Yeah, that's it. It's a really, really interesting one, guys. For me, this is probably the only sort of position that's up for grabs. And to be fair, you could kind of make a case for all three, as we tried to do. You know, Torres, mint movement in the box, but isn't really experienced and hasn't played that much football. Aguero, fitness concerns, could if he gets in the position to score, he's probably going to score, but due to his fitness, will he get in the positions to score? That's the problem. And then with the false nine, as we've said, it's got us here all season, but you are really lacking that real clinical player up top. You could play Kev there instead of Bernardo in the false nine. He offers a little bit of a solution there. But, you know, all of them have pros, all of them have cons. It'd be really interesting to see what Pep goes for. Let us know in the comment section below what you'd go for. We'll probably debate this some more, you know what I mean? We've not fully decided. When we do the full preview, we'll let you know what we go for. But at the moment, I'm kind of up in the air because I kind of like, I see the reason for all of them, but I can't make my mind up. Let us know in the comment section below and we'll see what the general consensus is from you City fans out there. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you have, make sure you smash a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Head over to manscaped.com, use code EXTRA for 20% off and free shipping. Massive thanks to Manscaped for the sponsor, exclusive sponsor of the Champions League final. And we'll see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.